God, where do I even start? Hello. 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 Hi. Hello. No. Hello. Hi. I guess I should start there. Hi, I'm Ruby. Um, uh, these intros are harder than I was expecting. Hi, I'm Ruby. Welcome to my house. Ugh. Thanks for checking out my channel. I'm going to be attempting to make croissants today, which is, I don't know why I'm doing this. I just got it in my brain that I wanted to try something really hard in terms of baking, so I just decided to do the hardest thing possible, which is make puff pastry and make croissants. I think I got it. I don't know. Maybe. Probably not. I'll be honest. I did one batch already and they turned out not good. Just like not good. I don't know what I did wrong. But you know what? They still taste good. It's dough and it's a lot of butter, so you can't really super go wrong with that, I think. And I will just let you know I've already eaten like 2 of them, so I am so full of dough and croissant and butter already that I feel like I'm gonna pop. Ugh. But hopefully that goes away soon. I don't know. Or hopefully it doesn't. I don't want to eat any more butter, but I'm going to for science and just for my own like overachieving sense of self-worth. Yeah, that's what it is. But anyways, here's the dough process. Let's check it out. Oh god, I'm gonna be in a butter coma. So I'm starting out with 472 grams of bread flour, adding to that 2 tablespoons of salt. And I'm gonna grab the dry yeast. And then I'm gonna go check the recipe because I forgot how much to add. Yeah, okay, 1.5 teaspoons of dry yeast. And it's in, okay. Then I forgot the sugar, so I'm gonna go grab that. And I'm gonna add in roughly like 25 grams of sugar. This recipe actually didn't have any sugar in it, but I wanted to add some. And then go get a knife and chop up some room temperature butter and measure out roughly 1 tablespoon and add that in, kind of like grind it up and add it in. Take everything over to your handy dandy stand mixer and whiz it all up for like a minute roughly, just so it's all incorporated and evenly mixed through. Then you're gonna add 313 grams of ice cold water to the dry ingredients. Take your mixer and crank it up, just, yeah, get it up there. Start medium and then go to medium high because you're gonna really wanna beat the crap out of this dough. Then you're just gonna let the dough knead on high for 10 minutes in the stand mixer. You'll notice that I'm holding it down because this dough is pretty tough and it's really gonna make your stand mixer bounce around. So if you don't want it to jump off the counter, hold it down. If you don't have a stand mixer, that's totally fine. You can do this by hand, but you're gonna have to knead it by hand for 10 minutes. Good luck. And here I noticed that I forgot to lock it, so that's why it's bouncing so much. Oops. After 10 minutes of kneading, your dough should be smooth and glossy and beautiful and just luscious. Love it. So pull it off your dough hook and plop it into a lightly greased bowl. Then you're going to loosely cover it and let it rise for an hour. gosh, it's gotten huge. Look at that. Wow. So we're just gonna knock it back now. So you could punch it, but I'm gonna be a little more gentle. Just fold it in. Oh my gosh, it's so fluffy. It's so light. Look at those bubbles. So that's knocked back. Dump it in. Woo. Awesome. Oh, this dough is so nice. It's so soft. Look at that. Beautiful. So I'm just gonna press it down a bit. You want it to get into a square. Whoop. Thanks, alarm. La 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 la. Press it down. You're gonna wanna work quickly, but make sure you take your time to get this into a square because it's gonna make your next step so much easier if it starts as a square now. So once you do get it into a square, you're gonna take it to the freezer and chill it for 30 minutes, flipping it at 15 minutes. So 15 minutes one side, 15 minutes the other side. So after the dough was in the freezer for 30 minutes, I took it out because I realized that the dimensions were not quite correct. So it's time to roll out your dough. You want it in a 25 centimeter by 25 centimeter square. And once you are done rolling it out, you want to cover it back up again, wrap it back up again, and put it in the fridge because you don't want it to get hot. Every other tutorial that I saw with people making croissants, they were using a ruler, so I decided to get my measuring tape out just to be super precise as well. I don't know if it really makes a difference, but hey, why not? So the tutorial that I referenced the most and the recipe I ended up using is actually Dominique Ansel's DKA, his Croissant recipe. So with the Croissant, you put sugar in a couple of the turns, but I figured if I didn't put sugar, it would just be a normal puff pastry and it would totally work. Moving on to the next step, which I think is personally the most therapeutic step of making croissants. We're gonna make the butter block. So you're gonna measure out 350 grams of butter. And I mean, if you're gonna ever splurge on buying butter, it's gonna be when you're making puff pastry. So get some good butter. I mean, if you can't get good butter, just get whatever kind of butter you have. Make sure it's unsalted and make sure it's actual butter and not margarine or anything like that. Your butter is going to need to be room temperature for this bit. Well, I guess it doesn't need to be, but it's going to make your life way easier if it's room temperature. And when you are making the butter block, kind of just already have it in a roughly even block shape, because again, that's just going to make your life easier. Once it's in a block shape, you're going to cover it again in some parchment and whack the crap out of it. Just go for it. Whack the bleep bleep whatever out of it. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your free therapy. We do need it to be a certain size, so don't whack it too thin. We're aiming for 17 by 17 centimeter block. And once that's all nice and pretty and square, you're gonna pop it into the fridge for 15 to 20 minutes. Once both the dough and the butter are chilled, you're gonna pull them out. So you really want the dough and the butter to be the same temperature and the same texture, the same consistency. If the butter is too cold, you're gonna have a really hard time rolling everything out. And if the butter is too hot, it's just gonna melt into the dough, and then you're not gonna get those distinct layers that you want for a puff pastry, for a laminated pastry. So what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of stretching out the sides and then pulling them up to meet in the center of the butter. You can tap against the sides of the butter to kind of make sure that the edges are really squared up, and it just brings the dough more evenly into the center. Now I will say I only vaguely know what I'm talking about. This is only my second attempt at making croissants. If you really want to see a master make it, Google the Dominique Ansel DKA recipe on Munchies on Vice. That's where I learned all of this, and I would seriously suggest checking that out if you want to see someone do it that knows exactly what they're doing and knows the exact science behind it, because I am pretty much winging it. So I'm pinching closed all the seams because we don't want any butter to escape as we're laminating it. Make sure there's not like excess flour on those seams, because you're gonna have a hard time closing them up when you try to do it like I am currently having. Once all the seams are closed, you're going to, hey, get your free therapy again, and you're going to beat out the dough to kind of soften the butter up and get it prepped for rolling. And then you're just gonna roll it out. We need to get it nice and long and prepped for the first fold. So now I'm gonna do the first fold, which is a book fold. You wanna make sure everything meets up nice and evenly, make sure that the edges are nice and square, and it just looks super even and good. And once that's done, you're going to beat it out again, turn it, beat it out again, and then roll it out again. Yeah, I have the world's smallest rolling pin. So after you get it long again, then you're gonna do another book fold. And you can see the layers starting to go, and then I turn it again and beat it out again and roll it. At this point, I noticed that the dough was really starting to resist me. Like, no matter how much I rolled, it wouldn't stretch and elongate. So if that happens, that means just the gluten has really developed and it's gotten a bit tough, but you can relax those glutens by chilling it. So I'm gonna wrap it up and let it chill for 20 minutes. So after letting it rest, I pulled it back out and I'm gonna try to roll it out again. It's still not rolling the best, but I'm just gonna crack on and try to get it done. I definitely learned why some of these recipes require you to take 2 to 3 days to make it, because if you let it rest in between all of the folds, the elasticity is just going to be a lot better. It's going to be a lot easier to roll out, and you're going to get a better result. So I'm just doing the third fold, and I'm going to wrap it back up and let it chill again, because it is just not rolling out easily. It is tough. So this time I let the dough rest for about 45 minutes in the fridge, because we went out and got some hamburgers. And it's just repeating the process now, pounding it out and trying to roll it out. And honestly, I can feel like it's pretty tough. It's pretty resistant. It's not rolling out easily, but I'm still gonna try because honestly, I'm getting impatient. And ta-da, the final fold, the fourth fold. We did it, 4 folds, ew. So I was really hoping to be able to roll it out to the final size here, but I'm just like realizing that the dough is not cooperating and not spreading, so I'm gonna wrap it back up and let it chill out again in the fridge. So after a 30-minute rest, I pulled it out again and I tried to roll it out and it wasn't cooperating. This was as thin as I could get it, which was definitely not thin enough, but I decided I wanted to make a couple pain au chocolat just to see what would happen. Way too thick, but ooh, look at that lamination. Oh. I decided to let the rest of the dough chill overnight because there's no way all of this dough would only make 5 croissants. So let's see what happens if it chills overnight. So after baking in a 400-degree oven for 30 minutes, they turned out like this. They're huge, they're monstrous. They are like 3 croissants in one, but it worked. They're laminated. That's a puff pastry. It looks awesome and it tastes amazing. So calling this a win for now because I was so tired. I just wanted to go to sleep and wake up to a beautiful croissant in the morning. So this is the dough after I'd let it chill overnight, and I wanted to see now how easily it would roll out and what a croissant would be like this time. So the dough rolls out like a total dream now. It's perfect. I actually think I rolled it out a little too thin, which is not great. So, oh well, it was an experiment. And I'm gonna roll it up into a proper croissant shape. And then I realized it was too tight, so I kind of rolled it a little more loosely. And that's the shape. So when you put it on the pan, you're gonna wanna make sure that the point is down. That kind of keeps it in shape. And then egg wash it. I let it proof in the oven with the light on for 40 minutes before baking. And here it is, my croissant. I did it, kind of. It unfurled a bit. I'm not sure why it did that, but you know, whatever, it works. It's a win, it's a croissant. It's amazing, I'm happy. Next morning I was craving something sweet, so I decided to make up some pain au chocolat. And I actually rolled these out less than I did the croissant the day before. The cool thing about this dough is you can freeze it. You can freeze it up to 2 weeks, and when you want to use it, just take it out the night before and defrost it in the fridge, and then you can bake up as many as you want. This could have done with like a couple more minutes in the oven, but whatever. It was amazing, hot from the oven, just absolutely perfect with a cup of coffee. Pure pastry heaven. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching my first little DIY why the hell not video. I hope you enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed making it. No, I definitely enjoyed making it. This was really fun. And you know, what do people say after this? Click subscribe to my channel. Click the thumbs up. Do whatever you're supposed to do, and I will see you next time.